What's up, boys? It's Gaz, and welcome to another Warframe video. So today we're going to be going over the Steel Path, aka Hard Mode, and my thoughts on it, what I think that they should improve on, some ideas for them to actually make it worth our time, and things of that nature. So if you have not checked the Twitch channel already, or if you've not subbed to this YouTube channel, I know a lot of people that watch videos are not subbed to the YouTube channel, please make sure you do, as long as you're enjoying it, that is. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, Steel Path was added like 2 days ago, and I've played it for about 9 hours at this point, and the general gist of it is it's pretty much like New Game Plus. So you beat every mission in the game at least once, and then you go over to Teshin in the relay, and you say either yes or I'm ready, and that gets you into the Steel Path, which is a world state toggle on the map, which basically gives all the enemies plus 100 levels. It also multiplies their health, armor, and shields by like 150%. So, the dialogue you have with Teshin after when you start the Steel Path, he says, the enemies have learned of your tactics, and they've basically gotten serious at this point. So I took that dialogue to heart, and we go into some suggestions and ideas and criticisms of the Steel Path. I'll be taking that dialogue into account where he says the enemies have learned from your tactics and are prepared. So first off, let's go over these rewards that you can actually get from the Steel Path. So there's a new resource that drops called Steel Essence, and so far there's only these things in the store. They're adding 2 new ephemeras next week, which were not in here at launch, and I have no idea how much Steel Essence they're going to cost. So basically the Steel Essence stuff, if you clear every mission on a singular planet in Steel Path Hard Mode, you get 2 guaranteed Steel Essence. Also, the Eximus units have a 2% drop rate to drop this stuff. The wiki says 5%. That's not correct. We literally heard from Rebecca last night that the drop rate is double the drop rate of a Oberon part, and an Oberon part is 1%. So it's not 5%. Just keep in mind, Wikipedias are able to be updated by anyone, so that it's possible the wiki has incorrect information on any page, guys. So just keep that in mind. As far as we are aware, it's 2%. So yeah, I went through like 9 hours of gameplay and hardly got any. So like, I didn't spend any of it, and this is what I got. I only fully cleared 1 planet, to be fair, but yeah, it's pretty rare stuff. Now, of course, if you specifically farm it, like I've seen screenshots of like 100 plus in a little bit over an hour, and if you use like loot frames like Korra, Necros, etc., you'll get more of this stuff. But let's just go over what they're actually offering before we even get into farming it. So, we've got an armor set for the operator. There's 1 armor set. Apparently in the future they'll be adding another one. We've got 10k Kuva for 15 of this stuff. Keep in mind, in 9 hours of completing missions, I only got 10, so it's not even enough to get 10k Kuva. This is probably the worst one out of the bunch. A relic pack for 15 Steel Essence, 3 random relics, 1 guaranteed rare. What is rare even supposed to mean? Does that mean Axie? When I get into some suggestions here, this relic pack will be the basic or the main focus of my reward updates I'd like to see to this stuff. And then we've got a Stance Forma, complete garbage reward. You can pretty much just not even put. You can pretty much never even forma your stance slot on a melee weapon and just switch between them easily. So let's get into some gameplay as well here. So as far as I'm concerned, the Steel Path is a waste of time. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. It's also a waste of DE's time to even bother developing this, because it's pretty much just they expect you to so you get mastery out of this. That's the main reward you're getting out of doing the Steel Path, is mastery. So if you beat every mission in the game on Steel Path Hard Mode, by the way, they're bullet sponges, you get 27,000 mastery, because it's per mission you get mastery. And if you can see right here, for a bunch of it, like the rescue missions and stuff, just running the rescue mission, the spy mission they got, it's a waste of time. It's virtually the exact same thing as a normal version rescue. That's why I was thinking they should change this. This should not just be a normal rescue mission. It should be the Steel Path Hard Mode rescue mission, where, for example, I just run to the vault. As soon as the wardens realize I've started to save the hostage, they lock down the jail, and I'm stuck in the jail, and all the wardens teleport into the jail and start trying to kill the hostage. Then it would actually be a rescue. It wouldn't be you just blitzing to the frickin' jail and running out there, just not even worrying about the hostage because you get teleported to you at the end anyway. Like, make it so like the enemies actually learned of your tactics at this point. Like Teshin said they did. The wardens have realized, hey, this guy saved the hostage like 50 times at this point. We should just definitely lock him in there, and we should all just bum rush the hostage to get our prisoner. That's one example. The next one, here's a capture mission right here. I'm capturing the target. Why is a mini boss not spawned? Like, our elite officer is being captured at the tunnel right now, guys. This is like the third time it's happened this week. Lock him in there. Get a lich in there. Get Sargus Ruck. Get an executioner. There's those enemies on the arena on Sedna. There's unique enemies not being utilized in this game. That's another thing I'd love for them to do. Make hard mode not feel just like a normal mission. The only thing that's actually different is the enemies are really beefy. They are. They're not even normal like level 150 enemies. They're level 150 enemies with doubled health, pretty much. And here's what I'm saying right here. So if we take a look at the Grenier, we'll get back to the gameplay in a second here. But just let me just tell you, it's pretty much the same thing as normal missions. So we go to the Grenier. What they could do to make this more interesting is every 5, like for example, the survival missions, exactly the same as normal. Every 5 minutes in survival, why not spawn one of these unique enemies? Like, where is one of them? They're the guys that spawn in the arena, and they've got like unique weapons. Like this guy right here, Executioner Doc Thule. He's got Hind. He's got a. So let's read his abilities too. Once a medical officer of Sargus Ruck. He's failed to save a life once on his favorite officers, and they reassign him to service under Kayla, the famous executioner. He survives under the... Okay, so he's a healer. Every 5 minutes, one of these kind of guys can spawn. They come in there, they give a healing aura. It's like an ancient specter for the Grenier, and it makes the Grenier near him like triple the tankiness. They're already tanky. You're going to be coordinating with your teammates. This guy's got shields, he's got armor, he's got health. You will coordinate whenever every 5 minutes you see this guy spawn. Every 3 waves, one of these guys can spawn defense, where he's going to actually, I think he has like a flashbang grenade or something like that. Just unique, exciting stuff. And every faction has this kind of stuff, guys. You look at the Corpus. There's heavily underutilized enemies here. If you look at the Amalgam, there's like an Amalgam flamethrower guy they never even use. It's the Hecate, I think. Something Hecate. But pretty much, they never use these enemies. There's a flamethrower guy, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. There's plenty of enemies they have not utilized properly, and hard mode would be the perfect place to throw those guys in. Underutilized content, it's already in the game. These enemies only spawn in the sentient laboratory they have to unlock, and it's a giant pain in the butt to do it. It's like people just ignore it 99% of the time. Unless you're like farming. Here's some of the guys right here. Amalgam Hecate. Okay, that's a Demolist Hecate. Pretty much it's this guy with, whatever this gun is called, I can't remember the name of the gun for the life of me, but they have the amalgam weapons. Every 5 minutes, get one of these guys to spawn for the Corpus. And for the Infested, there's not many options, but we do have these Zealot Baptizer guys. Do you even know this enemy exists? These came with the Nightwave a couple of seasons ago, and they are unique infested enemies. They have like infested slicer arm things. There's one with an infested gun. These guys too. Make these guys swallow the infested ones. This stuff's already in the game. It's wasted content. It's underutilized content. And I feel like it's appropriate. The enemies are smart, getting smarter. They know that like you're going to be sticking around this one spot. And if you're camping in an area, maybe they should send in a Zealot Pro Sterilizer to come knock you out of there. He like shoots a gas cloud into that hallway you're camping in to get all the steel essence. And they know about it. They've learned your tactics. They're trying to smarten up. It wouldn't take a special... It's like, I'm not saying that would automatically make hard mode hard, but it would make it more interesting than just, yeah, let's just cheese it, you know? Let's just use Grendel on the Eris Junction Spectre, because if you didn't know this, Revenant and Grendel are the god tier frames for killing the Spectres in the Junctions. Revenant can mind control and Reeve to one-shot it, and Grendel... let's just show it real quick. So pretty much that's one thing they could do to make the gameplay more interesting than just bullet sponge randomness with no, it just feels really lazy. It feels like underutilized, underdeveloped content that they just rushed it out to say that they did it so they can start focusing on TennoCon. And to be fair, I mean, TennoCon is coming out in August 1st. So they do want to focus on that. But it really feels like it was like the interns made hard mode right here. And they kept touting it as like, oh, this hard mode's been a long time coming. The community's wanted it for so long. And I know they said the only intention of hard mode is to test your weapons. Well, if that's the case, why did they multiply the enemy's health, armor, and shields by 150% on top of the additional multiplier? They're like, we just made it so people went to wait in survival for an hour and a half. It's completely, that is not sticking to their main purpose of making it just higher level enemies, because they are not just normal high level enemies. They have multiplied health, armor, and shields, like I said. So it's pretty, they went like wishy-washy with it. They couldn't decide on if they actually wanted to just be normal enemies or if they wanted to make it like these random like swordy higher health enemies than normal. So that's very annoying. And just with all this stuff's compounding to not being worth it at all. If you beat every mission in the game on hard mode, you know what you get? You get mastery. You get a really dinky little ornament that shows the planet. And I'm talking real dinky. It's like the size of like a bowling ball, maybe smaller than a bowling ball. So here's some ideas that I took some ideas from people in chat last night when we were doing the stream, and we have thought of lots of good ideas here for something that's more incentive, a bigger incentivization. Because like I said, this is pretty much, you could be either doing arbitrations or something like that, or you could be doing this. And this is one and done content, mastery fodder content as far as I'm concerned. And I feel like they could do a little bit better. So some ideas that we had, I showed that this is, okay, I'm going to go over my ideas first, and I'll go over chat's ideas in a second here. So for some things I think that could be really interesting and maybe not completely broken is maybe make it where that relic pack you get from turning in 15 steel essence, make it so instead of one guaranteed Axii relic, make it 2 normal relics and 1 vaulted relic. How about that? You know, you can't normally farm for vaulted stuff. Now, of course, DE probably wouldn't do that because it would be like, oh, we're making less money off of the Prime Unvaultings, which is understandable, but I just want to get the idea out there that as far as I'm aware, if something's vaulted, you just have to buy it with plat from somebody else because you can't get it in the wild. There's no way to farm unless you buy the relics from somebody else. You can't farm for it. So since they're making those relic packs so expensive, maybe make it where it's like you get a random vaulted relic, and that wouldn't let you target farm anything. For example, I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, I'm gonna get a Saren Prime relic guaranteed this time. It would be pulling from the giant pool of vaulted relics. So it could be a Venka Prime relic, it could be a Cronin Prime, a Vectis Prime, etc., etc. But that would be actually exciting relic loot. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no way I'd ever consider buying that relic pack with that Vitus Essence, at least currently. So that's one thing. Maybe even the thing is, like I said earlier, you can get a bunch of steel essence doing the farming method. That would not be broken because it's still completely random. There's a huge pool of vaulted relics to pull from. You would not be target farming anything. So that's one idea I had. Additionally, a thing that would probably be more exciting than actually vaulted relics is how about an Umbra Forma blueprint for like 60 steel essence? And I'm sure DE wouldn't want to do that because they're like, oh, that makes people not farm Nightwave as much. Here's what you could do. You could make the crafting requirements really annoying. So, for example, it's going to be 60 steel essence to buy the Umbra Forma blueprint from Teshin, and then to craft it, it's going to take an Aura Forma, a Stance Forma, and maybe like some other annoying resources. That would be a big time gate because Aura Forma take 4 Forma to craft, Stance Forma takes 5 Nightane to craft, and a fully built Forma, and then maybe like throw like an Axii, maybe like a Requiem relic, or like an Axii relic or something like that, and like 10k Kuva to craft an Umbra Forma. That would be enough of a pain in the butt to create that people wouldn't just spam it all day. Oh, and while we're at it, why is DE so stingy with Umbra Forma? It's not like the game's going to get broken if we get Umbra Forma builds on everyone. Honestly, that's one of the things that annoys me the most. They are so stingy with Umbra Forma. We get one per Nightwave if you grind your butt off for like weeks. And I just don't see, like, you can't get it from Railjack anymore. I don't see what the point of not giving us more is. If I have an Umbra form on every frame, it's not going to make the game any different. A lot of people don't even like Umbra builds. So it would just be for, like, the people who have already grinded out to this point, getting some more fun and excitement out of the game and their build variety. So that's one thing. We got Vaulted Relic pack, or 1 Vaulted Relic in that pack, Umbra Forma. How about some new or primed Nightmare mods? So, for example, you've grinded out all this stuff, you've beaten every mission in the game, you're starting to do these high-level missions with increased enemy health, maybe get some more powerful mods at this point. So, for example, a primed Blaze mod. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? But you'd make it cost like 18 points on the build, so you'd have to forma for it for sure, and it might even like make you think or rethink what mods you're using in all these slots. Is Prime Blaze going to be worth it on my build? These enemies are so tanky, I need stronger mods. Unless you're getting pigeonholed into running Rivens, which maybe DE wants that, honestly. They want people to run Rivens. Prime Nightmare mods could be a nice way to do that. where it's a very powerful mod that takes a lot of capacity. You get it from the Teshin store. It's a lot of grinding to get it in the first place. These are just the kind of ideas that we're thinking of, dudes. And it didn't take us very long to think of this. DE just gave us random relic packs, Kuva, and an armor set. Now, of course, cosmetics are subjective. I'm not interested in the cosmetics, though. I already have the Prime Operator suit. I could not care any less about the Teshin Operator suit. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, the one really nice thing about... Let's say something really positive here. The one really nice thing about the Steel Path is on survival and defense and all that stuff, you get 4-player spawns as a solo player. So that's really nice. For me, at least. I like seeing lots of... The reason I play this game is because you can just kill enemies all over the place. So that's like the max enemy spawns thing is great for me. So, yeah, while we're getting into this, let's go over, like, you might think this looks pretty easy. I'm running like some of the strongest frames. Let's get into some of these boss fights. Specifically the Zealot Preloid. So you remember this guy from the Nightwave season? Well, this guy is probably the biggest bullet sponge in the game now. So here's my Gara with 1.03 million damage per tick, and it's doing like 26k to this guy. I'm sure you could cheese him with Mesa a little bit faster, but I just jumped in here unprepared, and my 1 million plus damage is tickling this guy. That's the thing. If you're gonna complete every mission in the star chart once on hard mode, and you have to deal with bullet sponges like this, deal with the Ropa low list with doubled shields and health and armor, I feel like you should get a reward suiting of that much game knowledge, gear checks, all that kind of stuff. Like 1 Umbra Forma guaranteed at the end sounds fair to me. Is that really too much to ask? I feel like it's not. So yeah, and let's go over some more other reward options here. How about a new relic? So like that relic pack is just an insult, pretty much as far as I'm concerned. A new relic in that relic pack for 15 Steel Essence with all drops in that relic are gold drops. So for example, if you got the relic pack from Teshin, it'd give you 2 like random lith crappy relics, but the rare relic, air quotes rare relic, would literally be a rare relic where it's got a Rubico Prime blueprint, a Graham Prime blade, I think that's the handle is the gold one for the Graham. Basically everything in there would be a gold drop. So there's no feels bad if you're using that relic that you got from Teshin for Steel Essence. You're always going to get something that's at least 100 ducats. Maybe it's the prime part you've been having a hard time getting, and you wouldn't have to use any traces to make it a better chance to get the rare. That would just be a good feeling right there. Guys, the ideas go on and on. We had a lot of people in chat that actually played the game last night, and we're making up some really good ideas from Teshin. Even one of the ideas that we had is getting implemented, new ephemera. So that's pretty much how I'm feeling about this. I feel like it was very underutilized content, underdeveloped content, just a placeholder for until we get to TennoCon, and we'll get another announcement, a hype trailer for the new update that will hopefully come out like a month or 2 after. And it's just not a great feeling. I know it's not supposed to be endgame. It's not endgame. It's just bullet sponge mode. And yeah, I mean, out of that 9 hours of gameplay last night, I feel like the only missions that actually felt like hard mode was this Zealoid Prelate fight, because he was such a sponge. To be fair, I was probably doing the wrong build here. It took about 20 minutes to kill this guy. I heard that you could fight him in like 7 minutes with Mesa. And then we had the Archwing is actually pretty easy. And we had the Fontes was just like waiting around for his faces to open up. But that's me as a person that annihilates Plague Star, so it wasn't too bad for me. But the Ropalolos was actually really interesting. I went in there first on Wukong just to be like, oh, I'm just going to do my normal strat. Look at his shield not even moving with the Profa Scaffold. I just left. I'm like, all right, Volt and Void Strike time. So we went to Volt with Void Strike, and it actually went a little bit better. It was pretty much like fighting an Eidolon on the Jupiter tile set. And I had to change my tactics. The ads were really annoying here, the amalgams that he spawns. So I actually had to like change my positioning. I actually fought him from some of like those towers on the side. And it was actually really, I wouldn't call it fun, but it was like, this was a challenge right here. Just doing a rescue mission with nothing different than before is not a challenge. And I feel like they could have done much, much better with this update. Especially if they touted it as something that is a long time coming for the community. It feels like it was developed in a weekend. And I know that's me. I'm being an armchair developer right now, but I'm calling it as I see it. The rescue missions are literally exactly the same. I mean, pretty much everything is exactly the same, but just with multiplied health. I think there's like one new, there's the new armor set, so that's some new geometry in this update. Now, to be fair, it's not a mainline update, I guess. There's one new resource, which is the Steel Essence. That's a new JPEG right there. And then there's the trophies you get from the planets. That's the new stuff in this update. Was I expecting too much? I feel like I wasn't, with how long the community's been asking for a hard version of the star chart. And I also feel like adding those multipliers to health and shields was unnecessary. If I want to like have multiplied health and shields, I could have just equipped the freaking Decaying Dragon Key as far as I'm concerned. It's making it arbitrarily harder than it needs to be for players that aren't like me. Like, honestly, people that aren't like me or like min-maxers, what are they ever going to play this? I feel like they're not going to even bother. Like I said, there's no real incentivization, but if you put crazy strong mods like Primed Blaze, Primed Stunning Speed, you know, like Primed whatever the hell, I don't remember all the Nightmare mods at the top of my head. Primed Hammer Shot? Dude, Primed Hammer Shot. Oh, I would grind Steel Path all day long to get that one. Maybe don't even make them tradable, you know? Or maybe do make them tradable. Reward the players that stick to your game and play every mission in the game and grind it out. You know, maybe. But the thing is, they probably have to fix some of the farms, because if you're getting 150 Steel Essence in 2 hours, DE would probably be like, no, that's way too much Steel Essence. You're getting too much stuff to trade right here. So that's just how it is, guys. I hope that you found this video helpful. A little bit of a rant fest. But, you know, I really do feel like this was not properly implemented at all, and it has so much potential. Like I said, this fight was really fun. The Zealoid fight was not fun, but it was just hilarious to see how much of a sponge he was. And who was the other really annoying one? Oh, Infested Alad V. He was pretty bad, but I actually just kind of like randomly one-shot him, so I mean, I'll take the win. So, yeah, this guy was really annoying too. I think I had to like use magnetic procs to make his shield not able to regenerate. And it was Octavia cheese, pretty much. So I'll talk to you guys next time. There will be more videos on hard mode coming out soon. Oh, by the way, the main frames I played for hard mode, Saren, Korra, Ashe, Grendel. I played Octavia for like 2 missions. And then Harrow. Harrow was pretty good. Harrow's a little bit dangerous to play. And yeah, there will be more videos out on hard mode in the near future. I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.